All right. Before I dive into the 15 things that you can use, there are just 7 reality checks for your journey in promotion. Number one, I've called this telepathy or telepathy. Sometimes we think people should know exactly what we do without us saying anything. But the reality is, unless people are informed about your music and the things you're working on, you will not create a following. Yeah. I still remember Sue Stockton. She went to, I think it was the South Pole, and she came back home and she thought everybody, this is a true story, everybody and all the media be knocking on her door, and there was no one knocking on the door because she didn't tell anybody she was doing that feat. But when she told the media, "Hey, I've done the trek to the South Pole," then she got media interest. So, unless you've got a PR team, or someone who can promote for you, you're it, people won't know. So that's a reality you've just got to remember. Number two, I said this a few times already, you are it. As a solo musician, you're your own marketing and promoting department, unless you can locate someone who can do it for you. And if you're in a band, you might be it, or it might be someone else. Um, don't feel too burdened with it. Just see it as part of for many years, I saw it as a department. I am a business and I have a sales department when I'm selling my goods. I have a promotion department. I have a performing department. I have an admin department. I saw myself in that way for quite a long time because it just helped me to kind of balance everything. Another reality is the quality of your message. Whenever you are messaging out, doesn't matter what you're using, make sure you're giving a single message per post or announcement. I'm going to kind of break that rule by the end of today because there's something I want to tell you about. I'm going to give you 2 things. But generally speaking, whenever I'm doing posts and Andrew's doing a post, we have one what we call call to action. So anything you do should have a call to action. They call it a CTA. And that call to action could be, please click on this link. Please share. Please email, please buy this ticket, please buy my ticket. That's a call to action. And it's important that when you're actually, if you've got something you want people to do, make sure that's the last thing you put in whatever you're saying, whether it's writing or speaking. And I would also say with the quality of your message, only share what you're comfortable with. I know of someone who did, oh, what do you call that show? That Pop Idol one in the UK. Anyway, that UK Pop Idol, whatever they call it now, and made it to the top 10, fell out, didn't make it to number one. And whenever I go onto that person's social media, they are doing all sorts of things to get interest, and the viewership is just falling off and off and off because sometimes people don't want to see certain things, know certain things. You've got to understand what your audience wants. So the quality of your message is important. Make sure it's a clear message you are putting out in your post or your announcement, and make sure there's a call to action, one thing that you want people to really do. And on YouTube, it's please like, share, subscribe. That little slogan that everyone says, there's that. That's good if that's what you're looking for. Number four, quantity is another reality check. There is a lot of people out there saying you must post 3 times a day, 7 days a week. I've tried it and trust me, it doesn't work. You burn out. You absolutely burn out. And thank God I have Angela because we can talk about posts, we can plan posts, we don't burn ourselves out. My platform, maybe 2 or 3 posts a week go out. I'm not doing, she's not sitting up all day pressing buttons because we're human. We need to sleep, we need our meals, we need our rest. So part of your promotional package is really thinking about when you think of your method you're going to use, or methods plural, how often are you going to push on that platform? Is that a weekly push? Is that a monthly push? Is that every 2 months? Is that every quarter? It depends what you're doing as well. If you're putting on a show, you're not going to be pushing it 12 months of the year, but there'll be certain times of the year where you will be pushing up and you're going to sort of do a snowball effect where you might do it in month one, twice in month two, weekly in month three, twice a week in month four, something like that, in terms of your frequency. But make sure you can manage it.
I
What do you,
would like to add something about the quantity. In this rush to maybe complete a quota of the amount of posts that you think you have to post, many times the quality of the information or the music or the product that you're putting on decreases. You really shouldn't force yourself to say something online and you have nothing to say, because the amount of attention that all the different sources on the internet are demanding of users is astonishing. Nobody has enough time in the day to check all the posts. So if you have a low quality post with information that is irrelevant or that is boring or that has nothing to do with what you do, people will just discard it. They will stop thinking of your social media or your outlets as something that provides valuable information. So you don't want to become spam in this pursuit of the goal of posting 3 times a week or whatever. It's better to skip if you really have nothing to say than forcing yourself to put garbage out there, so to speak. And it's kind of a like a rough way to put it, but sometimes because of the volume of material on the internet, you do have to think a bit more radically about the quality of what you put out.
thanks, Angela. Budgets. So there will always be businesses asking you to buy promotional opportunities options from them, but check if it's the right thing. Okay, so basically, as my husband and I were in business years ago, and one thing I learned straight away is that when we set up, we got our space and we got our desks and our chair and our computer, and then the phone was ringing, people saying, "Do you want a water cooler? Do you want stationery? Do you want this? Do you want that?" And as musicians, there's no difference. You're going to have people saying, "Come to me, I can do the promotion for you," or have Facebook ads, or have this and have that and have that. But I would say that you should, if you plan where you want to get to, how you're going to get there, and what you're going to use, that will dictate your budget. Okay. And it's not everything that you've got to spend on. There's a lot of free stuff on the internet. Obviously, that comes with a cost because it's about data now that we know about AI and stuff like that. But there's a lot of things you can use, and do think about your budget and don't break the bank. One of the rules about spending out on something is the return on investment is really important. So if you're going to spend 50, let's say, argument's sake, £10 on something, and you're not going to make a pound profit or get your £10 back plus profit, then it's a poor return on investment. It's got to bring you something back if you're going to spend money, and not that it puts money in their pocket. So yeah, budgeting is very important. Your followers, promote where they are. It's really, really important. Again, where are they? Are they on social media? Are they not on the internet? Because I have some people who are just not on the internet. So I've got to think about methods of writing and contacting them in a different way. So wherever your followers are, that's where you must promote, and that's where you're going to get most of the traction from. Okay. And number 7 is patience. I had a long game approach. Mine was 5 years. I'm not saying you must wait 5 years to get 10 followers to your YouTube channel. That would be ridiculous. You can do that in a very short space of time, within weeks even. But you do need to have a long game approach for some of the major targets you want. And it's better to break that down into smaller steps. And that's where business planning comes in. And also, don't get annoyed if it doesn't happen overnight. It just doesn't happen. There's a quote, a watch pot never boils. You know what I mean? The trials and errors will come, but don't give up. That's patience is really the important key. If it doesn't work, okay, what can I tweak to make it better? It's never about it doesn't it didn't work this time, throw it away. No, actually it didn't work this time. Let's look at one thing I can tweak, run it again. Let's tweak something else, run that again. Let's tweak something else. And you generally find, it gets better and better and better the more you educate yourself and apply things. And just a couple of bonus ones. Get really familiar with the legal requirements for your country, spam laws, GDPR, social media rules, and be gracious when you are unfollowed or unsubscribed. I hated that at the beginning. I got an email saying so and so's left your mailing list. Oh, I got in. But it's part and parcel of things. So just be familiar with those legal requirements. And also, people will check you out. So have somewhere online where you can be found. Now, this is crucial in your promotion. As much as we don't like the internet or computers, we've got to be found somewhere on the on the internet, for people to find us. I mentioned about the ITV. Sometimes, I mean, next when they called me to do something at their head office is because they were searching for a sax player in Birmingham, and my name popped up, and it popped up because of the way I'd been sort of doing stuff over years. So people, it always comes up near the top. You just need to have somewhere to be found. People do want to check you out. So that's another bonus one for your promotional journey.